Adam here from Let's Discover. I just want to talk quickly about this rogue Chinese satellite that will be crashing down to Earth, estimated today or this evening. It is 8 p.m. right now, Eastern Time, and just to catch people up quickly who don't know about this, back in 2016, the Chinese government lost communication with one of their space stations, and since then it has been said that it will crash down to Earth, but the exact time has not been known. Well, that time has been narrowed down to today. There's a great website out there called stuffin.space where you can actually track all the satellites out in space, and it gives you a little bit of information about what that satellite is doing. So here we have that satellite, and you can see some information on it here on the right about what it is doing. And its current altitude right now above Earth, 138 kilometers, which is roughly 80 miles or 426,000 feet. So this thing hasn't come back into Earth's atmosphere, and that is what's supposed to happen tonight, is the re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. Now, there's not an exact hour known for this at the moment, as there seems to be environmental impacts on this metal of the space shuttle that causes it to contract and expand, and when it expands it increases its drag, which obviously slows down the speed at which the satellite is traveling at. That being said, how high is space and how close is this to re-entering? In the US, space is defined as 80 kilometers or 50 miles or 264,000 feet. The international standard for space is a little bit more than that, at 100 kilometers, 62 miles or 380,000 feet. So, space station right now at 426,000 feet is roughly only 45,000 feet away from re-entering our orbit. And as most people will know, when something re-enters the Earth's orbit, especially something like this that is uncontrolled, it's most likely going to burst into flames. We don't know if most of everything will disintegrate while it's flying through the air, or if large particles of debris will come down on land. We don't even know if it's going to come down on land or if it's going to go down over water. Now, I know when you just concentrate on it, it looks like it's going slow. This thing makes ground fast. As you can see, its velocity at the moment is 7.82 kilometers a second. So that thing's going quick. It's currently going over a large body of water right now. And you can see the altitude is actually gaining altitude. I don't know exactly why, but my guess would have to be that it's going based on sea level, and the sea levels are lower there, so it's counting as a higher altitude for the satellite. The next landmass it's going to come over, and this map actually isn't labeled, but from looking at the world map, that seems to be Argentina. It will only spend a couple minutes over Argentina, as this thing is going very fast before it heads over another large body of water. But then it's going to make it back to land, and it's going to be on land for a while. Now you can see here the satellite's path on a flat map view, and the green zones are where the satellite does travel over. The yellow zones are the outer limits of its boundaries. So you can see the course it takes here. Mostly over Southern America, but there is chances that it comes over before heading back over water into the Middle East, back over water for quite a long ways. So this satellite does spend much of its time over water. Last thing I want to show you here in this video is just a couple paragraphs of this article from space.com, which I'll leave a link for in the description. And it is explaining what's going to happen when it enters the Earth's atmosphere, and it says the first serious damage will likely come when its orbital height falls to about 70 miles above the Earth's surface. The thin solar panels that resemble wings on the other side of the cylindrical spacecraft will be the first to feel the effects of the pushing against more and more molecules of air, ultimately breaking off. In the following minutes, Tiangong 1 will likely tilt forward as the forces of friction increase, somewhere between 40 and 50 miles. The entire vehicle will become consumed in flames, with large chunks breaking off, becoming scattered and breaking up into smaller fragments. Finally, at about 10 miles up, the falling fragments will lose their forward velocity and will rain almost straight down. So we can only hope that this happens over the water. I'll post more videos if anything important or exciting happens with this satellite, as I want to keep people up to date on the information and stuff you don't see going on in mainstream media these days. Take care, everybody, and stay safe.